So hey guys, this is my review on WWE's The Greatest Superstars of Wrestlemania DVD from 2008. I showed you the cover many a times, but I guess I can show it to you again. That one. And yeah, this is a 2-disc DVD, so I think I'm going to put this into a 2-part YouTube video review. But first off, I see my hair's crazy, so I'm going to fix that. It starts off with them giving it like a vignette, like a documentary about WrestleMania itself. That's about 3-4 minutes long. And then they go right into talking about one of the main WrestleMania stars, Hulk Hogan. They talk about his career. You know, from him down in Florida and Memphis to him with the WWF, you know, for Vince Sr., to him in the AWA in Minnesota, to Japan, and then to the WWF itself. Then when he was in WCW and the NWO, and then the NWO and the WWF, that failed. Then back to the red and yellow, and then they cut back and they start talking about some of his WrestleMania matches, and the real one that they bring up is the one with him versus Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7. Now this is actually a WrestleMania match that I forgot about, okay? And they say it's during the Gulf War back in 1991, and Sergeant Slaughter turned his back on America and is now for Iraq, and he's the most hated man in America in the WWF, so yeah. This man was actually getting death threats and stuff. I remember hearing that. But so, they started, and Alex Trebek is the guest ring announcer, which is pretty cool. Sergeant Slaughter comes out first with, I don't know this guy's name. I never heard of him. They call him Agnog or Eggnog, or I think I heard Ahmed at one point, so I just started calling him General Ahmed. Like I said, Regis Philbin his own commentary. It's for the WWF Championship, of course. And, he's with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan, probably the best commentary team to date. Sorry, I have to speak the truth. WrestleMania 7 was held at the most patriotic city in the USA, Los Angeles. Didn't know that, you know. The fans are chanting USA, USA. After 5 minutes of Hogan chasing Slaughter and Ahmed, then trash talking and Slaughter pussyfooting around, they finally lock up. They go back and forth. Hogan uses his strength. Hogan knocks down Slaughter to the outside, and Hogan goes after him. Ahmed tries to get involved. Hogan grabs him. Slaughter hits Hogan with a chair to no effect. There's some other stuff too. He also did it right in front of the ref, Earl Hebner. And it wasn't a no DQ, so I gotta ask you, and this is my another new hashtag of mine. What the hell? You know, so that kind of caught me off guard. Slaughter takes it to Hogan. Regis finally comes in and says that Heenan must be a Slaughter man. Hogan comes back, takes out Ahmed, then takes it to Slaughter. Near fall from Hogan. Hogan continues his dominance, slingshots Slaughter into the corner. Hogan pushes referee Earl Hebner. No DQ on that either. You push the ref, you should get disqualified. Hogan no-sold a hit from Slaughter. Ahmed grabs Hogan's leg, and Hebner sees it. Still no disqualification. Another chair shot. And then Slaughter choked Hogan with a cable. Hebner must be blind because no disqualification. The fans chant, Hogan, Hogan. Near fall by Slaughter. Slaughter puts a Buster Crab very close to the ropes, so all Hogan had to do was reach for it. But Hogan tries to power out of it, but fails, and then finally he grabs the rope. Ogned, whoever, distracts Hebner while Slaughter goes for a pin. He had about a 7 or 8 count on that. He finally turns around. 1, 2, near fall. Slaughter hits Hogan with a chair. Hebner didn't see that one because he wasn't actually looking. Busted Hogan open. Hogan starts hulking up. Slaughter knocks him down. Puts on the camel clutch. Hogan fights out of it. Slaughter hits him with the Iraqi flag for a near fall. Hogan rips up the Iraqi flag. Big boot. And then the atomic leg drop for the 3. I would have rather seen the WrestleMania match from WrestleMania 3, him versus Andre the Giant, or from 6, him versus the Ultimate Warrior, than this one, the one that I forgot. I would have even rather the one from the next year, WrestleMania 8, him versus Sid Vicious. Come on. No, why are you going to put in one that none of us really remembered? I gave it a 5-star match. The storyline was pretty good, I guess, for that time. And, you know, now that I did watch it, I do remember that from, you know, doing my history studies on it. So, then they do a vignette about Batista's career, talking about him in OVW, then him in Evolution as one half the tag team champions with Ric Flair. They mention their victory at WrestleMania 20 over Mick Foley and The Rock. Then him winning the Royal Rumble and going for Triple H's title on April 3rd, 2005 at WrestleMania 21. Was known as WrestleMania Goes to Hollywood, and that's the match we see. You know, Motorhead placed Triple H down to the ring. That was pretty awesome. Triple H has Ric Flair in his corner. Batista comes out but has no pyro like usual. WrestleMania 21 was also in Los Angeles, and this time Jerry the King Lawler and JR are on commentary. And it's for the World Heavyweight Championship, since Batista did win the Royal Rumble, and instead of going for JBL's title, he decided to go for Triple H's title because he doesn't want it to be all about Triple H anymore. Triple H and Batista have a intense stare down. Then Triple H talks trash. They do the collar elbow tie up. Batista pushes back on Triple H, and then Triple H pushes back. No winner. They do that twice. Batista knocks Triple H down with a shoulder block. Triple H comes back with one of his own. Triple H goes for the pedigree quick. Batista slams Triple H down. Batista takes control until a Harley Race high knee to the outside. Flair distracts Batista while Triple H attacks him from behind. Referee Mike Chioda talks to Triple H while Flair chokes Batista with his coat. Triple H focuses on Batista's back. Great storytelling and selling from both competitors. Near fall by Triple H. Chioda tucks to Triple H again. Flair chokes Batista again, this time without the shirt or the jacket. Batista starts to gain momentum until a big double ace bomb buster by Triple H. With a near fall. 3 near falls actually, he tried it 3 times, but Batista clothesline Triple H, followed up by a side slam with a near fall. Triple H goes for the pedigree on the stairs, reversed into a slingshot into the post. Triple H busted open. Batista bashes his head into the other stairs a few times, and you could tell it's obviously fake because Triple H is blocking it with his hand about this far away, and they have the camera right here. You know. Triple H groggy. Batista hits Triple H 8 times in his cut, then gives him a big kick right to the head. I really like that. Flair then tries to attack Batista and gets clocked. Triple H goes to hit Batista with a chair, but Kyoto takes it away. They're on the outside of the ring while they're doing this too. Flair comes in the ring, trying to hit Batista with the title and gets a spine buster. Triple H grabs the title while it's on the ground and hits Batista with it while Kyoto rolls Flair out of the ring. Near fall from Triple H. Spinebuster to Triple H. Low blow from Triple H, which the ref didn't see. Triple H is seriously bloody. Now this is what I thought was stupid. Triple H goes to do the pedigree on Batista, has his arms back and everything, and Batista somehow overpowers it. I can see maybe at the beginning of the match, but no. And then how he overpowers it is he lifts him up and does what Sheamus calls the white noise now. What Finlay called the Celtic Cross. Batista bomb for the win. And I gave that match a 7-star because altogether it was a good match. You know. So yeah. Then they do HBK's career. So I'm like, yes, awesome HBK match. Awesome. Thinking probably the WrestleMania 12 one. With him and Bret Hart. But I figured they couldn't put that one on there because that one's too long. So I thought maybe the one with Stone Cold. Or the one with him, Triple H, and Benoit. But then I remembered it's a 2008 DVD, so they can't mention Benoit. Or maybe even the one with him and Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10. But anyway, they start talking about his career in the AWA, then the Rockers, then breaking off into a singles career. They show clips from WrestleMania 10 in the ladder match with Razor Ramon. The match of the year the next year with Diesel at WrestleMania 11. I did not know that that was the match of the year. That year must have sucked. You know, then the WrestleMania 12 Iron Man match they talked about. Finally accomplishing his boyhood dream. Then the DX and Attitude Era. Then WrestleMania 14 with Stone Cold. And then they talk about his return. You know. But the match is actually Chris Jericho versus HBK back in 2003 at Seattle at WrestleMania 19 at Safeco Field. And the storyline at the time was Jericho wanted to step out of the shadow of HBK because people were comparing him to him. And for this match, just to let you guys know, I'm going to be calling them HBK and Y2J. Just makes it go quicker. HBK comes out and launches confetti into the crowd with some bazookas, but one of them doesn't work. That was kind of funny. So that was like one of the first botches of the match. They mentioned that HBK was the first ever Grand Slam champion in WWE because he held all the titles except for the Cruiserweight because he was too heavy, but all the titles that he was able to get. And the women's title, of course, but that goes without saying. You know, the King and JR are on commentary. HBK plays head games with Y2J at first, by sitting on the corner like he does. They do good chain wrestling, then back and forth. Charles Robinson's the referee. HBK goes for a vault over the top. Y2J moves and ducks out the way. But while he's doing that, HBK slides into the ring. And then bounces off the ropes and hits Y2J with the baseball slide. HBK crossbody, but Y2J rolls through for a near fall. That was off the top rope back in the ring. Y2J goes for a bulldog. HBK launches him into the corner. Going first. HBK gets a figure 4 lock on Y2J. HBK then later, and Y2J reverses it. Later, HBK then skins the cat. And then grabs Y2J, pulling him over the top, followed by a vaulting crossbody. HBK goes for a drop kick on the outside of the ring. Y2J catches his leg and turns him over into the walls of Jericho. Robinson counts to 8. Y2J runs in the ring. Robinson stops counting when HBK should have been counted out. Just saying, I love you, HBK, but it's true. should have been counted out, then starts to count over as Y2J's exiting the ring. Correct. You're supposed to do that. But you're supposed to wait until their feet hit the floor. Y2J focuses on HBK's back since it's surgically repaired and his neck, whatnot. Springboard drop kicks HBK, then slaps him and says, "I'm better than you." A couple near falls by Y2J. HBK DDTs Y2J, both men down. Y2J does the kick up or the nip up and marks HBK by doing, "I can do this stance. I know I can do this stance." Doing that, you can't see my legs, but, you know, bending the right leg or, yeah, and having the left leg fully extended. Doing that in the muscles. But while he's doing that, HBK nip ups gets up as well, same way. Takes it to Y2J. HBK does a moonsault off the top for a near fall. 4 near falls by each man. HBK blocks the walls of Jericho. Y2J hits the line salt for a near fall. Another walls of Jericho. HBK gets to the ropes. Goes for it again. HBK gets a near fall on the inside cradle. Y2J hits a crappy Sweet Chin Music. He hit him in the chest, and he didn't even like it fully extend his leg back. Kind of went to the side, and it looked more like a hi. He does that, the fans go nuts. HBK kicks out of the pin. Fans get even louder. HBK goes for the walls of Jericho, but decides to slingshot Jericho into the corner. Later on, Y2J goes for a super back body drop. And HBK reverses it into a crossbody near fall. Y2J kicked the ref Robinson into the ropes. His elbow drop from the top. Y2J goes for a superplex. HBK slams him down and then hits the elbow drop. Starts to feel it. HBK misses Sweet Chin Music. Y2J locks in the walls of Jericho again, but HBK gets to the ropes. Y2J argues with Robinson and gets hit with Sweet Chin Music for a 2. Y2J goes for a back body drop. HBK lands on his feet, rolls Y2J up for the 3. HBK goes for a handshake. Y2J hugs him instead, but then kicks him in the groin. And I'm kind of biased to both wrestlers, so I gave that match a 9. And I like the whole storyline and everything that they had. You know, maybe they went for the walls of Jericho one too many times, and but at least they both sold each other's moves well. Then they do Undertaker's career, about his 1990s Survivor Series debut, his WrestleMania undefeated streak, and then they go right into Randy Orton's rise and wanting to beat The Undertaker, because as we all know, Randy Orton's the youngest world heavyweight champion. So, at this point in time, The Undertaker was 12-0 going into this match. And Undertaker's gliding down to the ring, led by the Druids. Michael Cole and Taz are on commentary since it's a SmackDown and Raw match, because Randy Orton's Raw and Undertaker SmackDown, but I guess they wanted those two to do it instead. And then, of course, Hebner's the referee, which is good. They call it a Legend vs. Legend Killer match. Cole then starts scrolling through the legends that Randy Orton has taken out in the past few months, since he's now called the Legend Killer, and then calls RVD a legend. No offense to you, RVD. I would consider you a legend in maybe about 3 years. I remember you as the ECW guy and then the WWE guy, but you've held the TNA championship twice. You know, good for you. You've been in 3 different companies, but you haven't really made an impact in the first or the second one that you were in. The biggest one that you were in, you only were the hardcore champion a couple times. I think the Intercontinental and European champion and tag champion. So, yeah. Anywho, getting into this, they mentioned Orton as the youngest world champion, but not who he beat, which that was Chris Benoit, by the way. Taker takes control and stalks / intimidates Hebner. Orton goes for the RKO, but Taker throws him outside. Then back in the ring, he does the old school. Orton delivers a beautiful drop kick. Orton takes control for a little while. Near fall. But Taker gets a DDT with a near fall shortly after. Taker has Orton in the corner when Cole says Randy Orton back on August 15th, 2004 defeated Chris Benoit to become the youngest champion in World Wrestling Entertainment history. They actually mentioned his name. Yes, I bet that was kind of hard to edit out. They could have edited it out because this DVD came out in 2008. Chris Benoit died and committed suicide, killing him and his family in like 2005 or 6, I believe. And he's been erased from the record books on anything. If any match that he's in, he's either replaced or that match didn't happen. Any titles he held, he's been replaced or that didn't happen. I actually saw something that one of my friends posted or they found of how at WrestleMania 20 it was Triple H versus HBK versus Steven Richards. What? But anyway, back to this. Orton does his he comes back and does his classic pose, and then Taker does his classic sit-up. I don't like using that word vintage that Michael Cole uses, so I use classic. You know, Orton's shocked. The mind games between these two were played before the match in the weeks leading up to it. They were great. I mean, Orton had his father, you know, playing mind tricks on Undertaker. Undertaker actually made Orton think his father was in a casket and all this stuff. It was pretty cool. You know, then Taker locks in the Dragon Sleeper, which I've been using that since I was 8. Don't be stealing my moves, Undertaker. Then Orton just rolls out of it and gives him a DDT, which I liked. Because Orton's so smooth on most of his moves. I really like that. For a near fall, they go back and forth. Orton goes for the 10 punches in the corner, gets 9 of them, then does his pose again. And then Undertaker goes for the last ride since he has him up on his shoulders. Orton gets out and lands on his feet, goes for the RKO, and gets pushed into Hebner. Taker goes for it again and botches it by falling back and dropping Orton. Orton's dad then comes down to the ring and hits Taker with his legendary cast. The night before, Cowboy Bob Orton, by the way, was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame by his son. So that's cool. Near fall on Taker. Orton reverses an Irish whip, and his dad gets a big boot, which I found kind of funny. Taker goes for a choke slam, reversed into an RKO, near fall. Fans are going ballistic at this point. Orton signals for Taker's tombstone, goes for it. Taker reverses it into a tombstone piledriver of his own for 3. Now he's 13-0 at that time. And I gave that match 8 star. That's one of Undertaker's better WrestleMania matches, I think. And it's also Randy Orton's coming out party, even though he's been champion and he's been in WrestleManias before and was around for a couple years. That kind of solidified it. That Randy Orton is a name in this industry, or will be a name very shortly in this industry. And look now, Randy Orton's like one of the biggest stars. Then they do an Edge career vignette. Edge was at WrestleMania 6, Hogan vs. Warrior. He was an independent wrestler and jobbed for WCW. He was the mysterious Edge in the WWF, entering and exiting through the crowd. Then part of the Brood, and then him and his brother Christian together. The TLC matches at WrestleMania 16 and 17 where they won. Then the whole Matt Hardy-Lita conflict, the Radar Superstar, when he won his first Money in the Bank match and then cashed in on John Cena a little bit over a year later. Then losing his title and trying to win it back from John Cena and Mick Foley getting involved, and Mick Foley being the reason why he didn't win it. So they go into that rivalry, and that's what match we see. So it's Edge with Lita versus Mick Foley in a hardcore match at WrestleMania 22. And WrestleMania 22 was known as Big Time, and it was held in Chicago. And if I didn't say this before, WrestleMania 21, Jerry Lawler and Joey Styles are on commentary this time. And I like that because I like Joey Styles. I believe he could do any one of those shows by himself. Foley takes it to Edge, who had a bat. Foley put Edge up in the tree of woe and then dropped him with an elbow drop. Edge tells Lita to get stuff. Edge takes it to Foley, spears him, but Foley's wearing a barbed wire around his chest, and Edge gets hurt more than Foley. Foley then used the barbed wire on Edge. Edge's arm is bleeding. Foley gets his barbed wire bat, known as Barbie, out, and then Lita jumps on Foley's back. Foley still clotheslines Edge, who's wrapped up in the ropes, and they all go outside. Lita pretty much landed on her head. A couple of near falls. Edge hip tosses Foley into the stairs, which looked horrible. Because Foley just, his legs just go smack on it. You know, and then Foley does his classic, when he gets Irish whipped into the stairs, knees first. Dude, why do you do that to yourself? Edge sets up a table. Edge then smashes the back of Foley's head on the ramp. Edge douses Foley in lighter fluid. Foley with the barbed wire bat 3 times, busting him open. Fans chant Foley. Edge pours the thumbtacks down. Foley back body drops Edge onto the thumbtacks. Foley then grabs Socko, wraps barbed wire around it, and uses it on Edge. Then Lita comes in and he uses it on her, and they're both bleeding out of their mouths. Foley grabs the barbed wire bat and busts Edge open. Foley then lights the table on fire and then gets hit with the barbed wire baseball bat by Lita while he's up on the apron. Edge comes in, he spears Foley through the table and through the ropes, pinning him for a 3. That was awesome. I gave it an 8-star because that was pretty good. That was a pretty good match, and that was the end of the first disc. To see what happened on disc 2, go to the next link.